Hari Om everyone. So we haven't reached Panchikaranam process. So tomorrow perhaps if there is a need, we'll go over it. But today's class I think was the most important, and even as we go forward, we should keep referring to it. Even if we go to advanced level text like Brahma Sutra, Shankar Bhashya, this is one of the most fundamental concept that was our fundamental concepts were clarified in today's lecture, and we should just keep on referring, go back to this lecture again and again to get rid of that samskaras of giving reality to duality and becoming firm in this vision of non-duality. So we should go over it again and again. And I just wanted to emphasize a couple of elements as we move forward understanding this aspect. And I'm doing this primarily for those who have never been exposed to Tattvabodha or never been exposed to the process of Panchikaranam, just to make it a little bit helpful for them, and especially because we don't have the chart that Swamiji is referring to in the video. That is the only reason why I'm doing it. Many of you might, they might already know the Prakriya of Tattvabodha, so you can skip in this part if needed. So the most important aspect we should keep in mind when understanding this creation is, as Swamiji said, it is the Upanishad doesn't have the heart to explain the creation as a reality. The Upanishad, even in description of creation, the heart of the Shruti, the heart of the Granthakara is to show non-duality of Brahman, to show how one alone appears as many. So this we should be very clear, very, very, very clear, so that we can see at each step how one alone became many, how one Brahman alone with the upadhi, with the limiting adjunct of Maya, or with the this projecting power of Maya, the Shakti of Maya. And what is Maya? That Sattva, Rajas, Tamas aspect, the three aspect, Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. This Brahman with this Maya of the characteristic of Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, that alone manifests as the five elements. So all along, so what is creation? It is an appearance, it is a manifestation of Brahman. It's nothing other than Brahman. That we have to emphasize in our mind, that we have to make our mind see. So when we read this, Atha Chaturvimshati Tattvotpatti Prakaram Vakshyamaha. So evolution of the 24 tattvas. In the whole process of evolution of this 24 tattvas, we should not think that one became other, that milk became curd, so there is no more milk. One thing alone appears, manifests as the other. And what is Brahmashraya? So what is this Maya? Is this Maya independent of Brahman? No, Maya has its Ashraya in Brahman. Maya has its existence and its power depends on Brahman. It is not an independent entity. So we need not imagine there's one Brahman and then there is one Maya. So when this Brahman comes into contact with Maya, then projection. That's also not the Vivaksha Tatparya. So that we have to be careful that we don't imagine Brahman and Maya as two. Brahman is the only reality. Maya is just a projecting power. It's the Shakti with which this whole projection happens. So magician and magic are not two different things. Again, we have to keep on listening to this lecture again and again, so that it becomes we form this as the new samskaras. So yeah, so it keeps on. So the whole process of evolution is being described. Tataha akasha sambhutaha akashad vayu. So from one element, other element, so from space, air is created, meaning the space, when it says from akasha, vayu is born, from air, fire is born. What is that creation? What is that birth like? It is an appearance, it is a manifestation. So that Brahman alone with the Upadhi of Maya manifests as space. That Brahman with the Upadhi of Maya, which manifested as space, that alone now manifests as air. So one thing alone first manifests as space, that one thing alone now manifests as air, then as fire, then as water, then as earth. So what is the vivaksha in speaking in this way? That the whole fundamental truth, the fundamental reality has not changed, that the Brahman has not changed. Brahman with the Upadhi of Maya, Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. This basic fundamental thing has not changed in this whole process of appearance manifestation. So this element we have to emphasize and we have to keep seeing as we understand this whole process. Yeah, I need not go over everything else. Swamiji has already spoken, but it's just these points that we need to emphasize that I wanted to bring to everybody's attention. So in this body, there is this gross body, and then there is a subtle body. So my eyes are part of gross body. So when they talk about the faculty of the sense organs, the faculty of senses, perception, hearing, etc. So when they talk about the faculty of perception, the Gnanendriya, this is not the Gnanendriya, this is the gross eyes. But on account of which this gross eyes are able to see, that is the sense organs, that is the faculty of perception we are talking about. So today what we saw was regarding that how from the same Brahman with the Upadhi of Maya, how the 5 elements got manifested, and from the same 5 elements, from the individual Sattva aspect, the corresponding Gnanendriya got created. So this we saw. And from the combined Sattva aspect, the mind was created. So, and then the preceding deity of the mind. So, what is mind? That was explained. Mind, meaning Antakaran, is made up of 4 functions, 4 components. They're not 4 components, but they get different names because of 4 different functions they perform. Like a woman gets 4 different names of a daughter, daughter-in-law, mother, and an officer, depending upon the role. In the same way, the same Antakaran mind gets 4 different names based on the function they perform. And then the preceding deity in each of this manas, buddhi, chitta, ahankara, that is also being talked about. Another important thing that was talked about was how in the same mind, one is karta, other is karanam. That we have to remember. Aham karta, and the other manas, buddhi, chittam are karanam. So I thought and idam thought. Aham vritti and idam vritti. That also was shown. That also was shown today. So yes, just emphasize on reminding yourself that all the while when Tattvabodha is talking about creation, what is the purpose of that? To show non-duality as the only reality, that how one alone appears as many. So don't take many as the ultimate reality. We may do our vyavahar as we need to, but the purpose of description of creation is in showing non-duality and not in showing the giving reality to creation. So that's the one aspect we have to remember. The second aspect, how as the creation is described and as it moves forward, to make ourselves actually see how that Brahman, how the same Brahman with the Upadhi of Maya is appearing in the different forms through the evolution, through the steps of evolution. So we have to deliberately make ourselves see this. Okay, with this, I think I'm going to end. And tomorrow, if we need, we'll go over this Panchikaranam process again. And again, we'll go through the Panchikaranam process. It's a mithya process. We don't have to give it so much of an importance. But it is still important because Upanishad, a lot of the advanced granthas will depend on this process of Panchikaranam and this concept, this model. So it is important to at least understand it, but it is also equally important not to give it a reality like this is exactly how things were created. This is how exactly khichdi is created. Not to give it a reality in the way we give reality to our recipes or kitchen recipes. It is just a model. That is what we keep our how we remind ourselves. Okay. So thank you everybody and Hari Om.